Welcome to the club of short stories, little riddles, and IQ tests. I'm the wise owl, Oliver Boo, and I would like to tell you that this story plays or takes place in 1892. First, let's see some information that you may know from the first episode, whose title is 6 Dinosaur Eggs. Please turn on subtitles in your YouTube menu. Well, you may have heard that the territory of the zoo of the Round Forest was rather small when the zoo was opened in the second half of the 19th century. That's why some years later, its director, Baron Christopher the Cat, asked several animals to start digging next to the zoo because he wanted to expand its territory. While those animals were digging, they found 6 strange objects which turned out to be very rare and precious dinosaur eggs. Unfortunately, one of the eggs broke when Sissy the snake wanted to eat it, but the remaining 5 eggs were taken to the Museum of the Round Forest immediately. The director of the museum, Thomas the Tiger, himself carried the precious eggs to the museum, where they were exhibited immediately. But unfortunately, there was an animal in the Round Forest, an animal who was extremely rich. He was David the Duck. He was the richest guy, but that was not enough for him.
Yes, I am David the Duck and I am the richest guy, but that is not enough for me. No, this is not enough for me.
He wanted to own, to possess the dino eggs too. That's why he asked his best bodyguard, Dr. Dexter the Duck, to steal those eggs.
Yes, and I am Dr. Dexter the Duck. I hope you like my face.
Well, Dr. Dexter the Duck broke into the museum and he stole the 5 eggs. He put them on his plateau truck and he wanted to deliver or transport them to the secret castle or mansion of David the Duck. But the trip or the way was too long and the weather was extremely bad. So he stopped in a very small village and he fell asleep. Fortunately, one of the dwellers of the village, Dr. Oscar Buba, PhD, was driving home just then. He caught sight of the suspicious plateau truck and the 5 suspicious eggs. And he behaved very bravely. He threw the sleeping duck out of the truck and he took the 5 eggs back to the museum. And now, let's see a lot of new information. So, naturally, he informed the police that arrested the duck. Well, the rules of the kingdom of the Round Forest were very strict. That's why the judge, Dr. Bruno Brown, the brown bear, sentenced Dexter the Duck to 15 years in prison. He said, "I, Dr. Bruno Brown, the brown bear, the judge, I sentence you to 15 years in prison. Yes.
The duck was very sad, but he couldn't do anything. The prison of the Round Forest was located on a relatively small island. It was really tiny, but in spite of this fact, a lot of different birds lived on it. Everybody thought it was impossible to escape from that prison island. It was surrounded by the round sea, which was full of hungry sharks, and the island had only one entrance, which was a 7-kilometer long bridge. The prison had only 4 employees. The director was Michael the monkey. Hi there, I'm the director, Michael the monkey, and I am a very straight director. The prison guard was Edward the elephant. It's very important to know, dear viewer, that Edward was not just a prison guard. He was the guard of the prison island too, and he himself was the police of the prison island.
Hi there, I am Edward the elephant, and I'm not just a prison guard. I am the guard of the prison island too, and I am the police of the prison island, so take care.
And he did not really watch what the prisoners did in their cells. It's very important. His most important duty was to watch the 7-kilometer long bridge. Well, the cook of the prison island was Claudia the cow, and the porter was Uncle Ugly. Exceptionally, the porter was not an animal, but a real human. He was the owner of the small island, and he had always lived there.
Hi, I am Uncle Ugly, the unsatisfied prison pensioner, and I have always lived here, and this is my island, but yet I am very poor and I don't like it.
Now let's see some very important details in connection with the security of the prison island, and let's see some important circumstances too. The prison was very close to the bridge. Edward the elephant went to the bridge every 5 minutes. He always stayed there for 1 minute. During that time he was always watching the bridge. After 60 seconds he always turned away and went back to the middle of the prison island. If any animals wanted to enter the prison island, they did not have to show, they did not need to show their passport. If Edward saw anybody walking towards the island, he did not do anything. He just waved his hand or said hello. But if any animals wanted to leave the island, they had to have a passport. Dr. Dexter the duck did not have a passport. One day he escaped from the prison island. He used the bridge. He could go 1 kilometer. He could walk 1 kilometer during 1 minute. Edward was not sleeping. Dr. Dexter the duck was able to open the door of his prison cell. He escaped without meeting any bird, without having any object, and without having a passport. He reached the first house. On the other side, actually he reached the first village and he disappeared forever. But let's go back to the beginning. Dr. Dexter the duck moved in and he started to live the life of prisoners. 2 years passed. One day, the porter, Uncle Ugly, was just walking in front of the duck's cell. Dexter stopped him and he said, "Dear Uncle Ugly, I know I committed a serious crime 2 years ago. But please allow me to tell you something. I have a daughter, and she will be 10 years old next month. It may sound strange, but I would like to leave the prison for 1 day, because I would like to visit my daughter. And I promise that I will come back the same day." Uncle Ugly said, "Sorry, Dexter, but I also have a problem." The duck said, "Maybe I can help you, but let us see my problem first. Well, dear Uncle Ugly, could you please tell the director that I would like to talk to him?"
Sorry, as I have just mentioned, I also have a problem, and it is my salary. I get only 5,000 round forest kreuzers per month.
Dr. Dexter the duck understood the old man, and in spite of the fact that there was no corruption in the round forest, Uncle Ugly found some banknotes on the floor. Suddenly, in front of the duck's prison cell. What a lucky day! Well, some hours later, the director Michael the monkey visited the duck and he said, "Sorry, Dexter, I totally understand your situation, but I cannot decide alone. I have to talk to the judge. But I also have a problem. My salary is so low, I get only 15 bananas per day." Well, in spite of the fact that there was no corruption in the round forest, the director also found some banknotes on the floor. Some days later, the judge himself visited Dr. Dexter the duck, and he said,
"Dexter, you have been here for only 2 years.
"I am sorry, I cannot allow you to leave this place, not even for 1 day." Excuse me, Dr. Brown, please look at the floor. I think you have lost some valuable banknotes." And then, imagine, dear viewer, a miracle happened. Dr. Bruno Brown, the brown bear, picked up the banknotes and he said,
Dr. Dexter the duck, I hate corruption,
and you cannot bribe me.
So I will buy a lot of food for the poorest animals of the round forest from this money, because charity is very important. But first, I will eat Uncle Ugly and Michael the monkey because I hate corruption. See you in 13 years, you loser. Excuse me, excuse me, Dr. Brown. So far I have always thought that brown bears eat only honey. Shut up, loser. This time I will make an exception.
And he left the prison. But Dr. Dexter the duck did not give up. He wanted to see his daughter very much. Well, each prisoner was allowed to make one phone call every week, and those telephones were very simple and stupid, and there was no secret service in the Round Forest, so the duck called the Round Forest detective's office. Detective Donald the Donkey and Detective Billy the Bullock, and he told the guys,
Hi there. I know that so far you have never been able to solve any riddles, and that's why you are very poor. Well, if you help me to solve this riddle, my problem, then I will make you very rich. So please listen to me carefully.
and he told the two guys all that he knew about the prison island. Detective Donald the Donkey and Detective Billy the Bullock started thinking, calculating, considering, and counting.
I am thinking. I am thinking hard.
I am calculating. I keep calculating.
I am just focusing on the circumstances.
I am just thinking about the facts and the conditions. But they failed again. They could not solve the riddle. Dexter was not happy. He had to wait 1 week. Then he called the wise owl, Oliver Boo, and he told him,
Oliver, I know you are not corrupt, but I have just heard that you would like to marry your girlfriend and you would like to take her to some exotic place, but your salary is very low. Well, if you help me solve this riddle, if you tell me how I could escape from this prison island, then I will make you rich.
the wise owl said, Imagine, Oliver, my girlfriend, Olivia the Bimbo, is just sitting here next to me. Olivia said loud,
Imagine, Dexter, imagine my boyfriend wants to take me to some cheap and cold Icelandic bungalow. Please tell all the details to Oliver quickly, because I want to travel to Mallorca, Ibiza, Hawaii, Tahiti, and Miami.
Well, the imprisoned duck told everything to the wise owl, who started thinking immediately, and some minutes later he said happily, Dr. Dexter the duck, I know the solution. I know how you can escape from the prison island. You will be walking on the bridge, and you won't need anyone's help. Please listen carefully. And he told the solution of the riddle to Dexter. The duck followed the instructions and he escaped immediately. And now, let's see the big question, the little riddle, the IQ test. How could Dexter the duck escape from the prison island? He was just normally walking on the bridge. He was not running, not flying, not swimming, and he was alone. And the elephant's watch was working properly. And Dexter also had a watch. Please consider all the circumstances carefully, because each and every detail may be important. Pause the video now if you would like to think for some time. You are going to see the solution in a few seconds. And now let's see the solution. Well, we know that Dr. Dexter the duck was able to open the door of his prison cell. The prison was very, very close to the bridge. Edward the elephant did not really watch what the prisoners did in their cells. Both animals had a watch. So, let's imagine, let us suppose that one day at 10 o'clock in the morning, Dr. Dexter opened the door of his prison cell and he left the cell and he was hiding behind the prison building close to the bridge. Let's imagine that at 5 minutes past 10, Edward the elephant went to the bridge. He was standing there for 1 minute and he was watching the bridge. At 6 minutes past 10, he turned and went to the middle of the prison island. And then, 1 second later, Dexter the duck went to the bridge and he started walking. He was walking for 4 minutes. It means that he walked 4 kilometers. And here is the trick. Because Dexter the duck turned and he started to walk very slowly towards the prison island. At 11 minutes past 10, Edward went to the bridge. What did he see? He saw a bird, maybe a duck, in the middle of the bridge. And he saw that the bird was walking towards the prison island. The bird was approaching the island. And we know that any animal was allowed to enter the island without a passport. So Edward the elephant did not have to do anything. He just shouted, "Hi, dear visitor, welcome to our island. Have a nice day." And what did Dexter the duck shout?
Hi, dear elephant. Yes, yes, yes. I am just walking towards your island. See you later.
At 12 minutes past 10, Edward turned and went to the middle of the prison island. And, of course, the duck also turned and started walking towards the village. That time he was approximately 3 or 4 or 3.5 kilometers far from the prison island or from the village. So he was somewhere in the middle of the bridge. So he had a lot of time. And 4 minutes later, he reached the village and he disappeared forever. Well, dear viewer, I hope that this little riddle or IQ test was not too hard or too easy for you. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel and please stay for some seconds more because I would like to show you something.